Hello one and all, welcome to the Galaxy Man Show. So for my guest of this week is this incredible artist known by the name of James Keith. Everyone, if you're not following James Keith, then definitely go show him the love and support. I'm about to add James into the live now and have a chat with James about his incredible music that he's released. So yeah, let's add James in and have a chat with James. Hello, James. How's it going?
Hey, brother. How are you, man?
Very good. I just want to say it's such an incredible pleasure having you a part of the show for tonight. As a guest. Everyone, if you're not following James, definitely go show the love and support over to James Keith. As I said, it's such an incredible pleasure having you a part of the show. To people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory first, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, man. Well, just first, I appreciate you having me on here too. I know you're a good supporter of country music in Australia, so mate, it's a pleasure. Pleasure's all mine, mate. But yeah. So look, I grew up in Orange, one of five boys. Basically, moved down to Sydney to chase a rugby league dream to, follow in our father's footsteps. Robbie Mortimer's my brother. So he's, so we were in a band together for like 10 years, doing the weddings and all that kind of country sort of circuit. And then, so I moved down to Sydney to play rugby league, which is why I'm still here. I don't obviously play anymore, but I've set up a business down here and sort of doing my own music and basically through adversity, 3 years ago, I started to, I started to write an album. It was the lowest kind of period of my life and always loved singing and always played guitar and always had, I grew up in a vineyard in Orange. Well, we built it, so we always play music. So that was always a big part of my life. But yeah, basically 3 years ago, through a bit of adversity, started writing an album called Life is Good Today, and the rest is history.
So we'll dive right into the questions now, James. So for my very first question, so you've actually created an original song called Be Yourself, which is an incredible title of a song. What was it like creating this song for like people that don't know, and what is the meaning behind Be Yourself?
Yeah, look, so I've sort of come into this industry a bit late, and everyone's like, in a nice way, everyone's telling me to do this and do that, and I was comparing myself, and I've only been doing this for 2 years, under James Keith basically, but I had all these people telling me to do all this stuff, and I just wasn't fulfilled with it. I wasn't happy. I was comparing. I was just worried about other people, and I wasn't really being fulfilled in what I was doing. So I just had a bit of a reset, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to, no one's a better version of anybody than yourself. So, you got to fire on all cylinders and get your whole life sort of, firing and be yourself, so don't try to be anyone who you're not, or try to impress anyone, or man, if you stick in your own lane and you do your own things and you be honest and you be fair dinkum about who you are as a person and what you're trying to do, I'm so much more fulfilled now in doing what I'm doing, because it's just, I'm doing what I'm doing. I could, people, I'm getting all these messages from people, reaching out, saying all this positive stuff, but because I'm doing basically what I'm doing, but because basically I'm being myself, and you're never going to please everybody, so I'm not trying to. I'm just doing my own thing, and that's probably a good life lesson that I've kind of learned. Through the last couple of years of doing my own music journey, really, yeah.
So we'll dive right into the next question. So you've also, as you mentioned about the album, it's called Life is Good Today, which is such an incredible title also of an album. What was it like actually creating this album, as you mentioned, and what's the meaning behind Life is Good?
Yeah, so this goes back to 10 years ago, my first trip to America. I obviously grew up in the country, an orange boy, but because I gravitated towards the guitar early on, I really love the Australian rock scene, In Excess and Living End and all these kind of bands, 1927. But a trip to Nashville in 2014, and obviously being a guitarist as well, I always generally gravitate to the production of a song. I could sing you 1,000 songs and not know what the actual song's about. So I went to Nashville 2014, and there was this lyric in a song. All these cover bands are playing this song, and it was "Life is Good Today, Life is Good Today." I was like, man, what is that? It was the first lyrics in a song that really stuck to me. And then I came back to Australia and found out it was Toes by Zach Brown Band. And it's got the lyrics "Life is good today," and it was just honestly, it was like a light bulb moment went off in my life, and I was like, that was the day that I started to listen to actually what lyrics meant in a song, rather than just production and guitar and all this. And also, then I started following Zach Brown Band, and I followed him all over the world. Now he's one of my biggest influences as an artist, as a musician, and just as a person as well. So moving forward to the album, when I started writing the album, in the lowest part of my life, man, I just got through a separation. 3 young kids, and I'm okay to talk about this now, but I've been kicked out of bands and having trouble with mum and dad. It wasn't a good period in my life, but basically, and the good message about this is, and this is what I've learned, the last couple of years doing sort of personal development as well, is, there's always a good and a bad in every situation, no matter what it is. And most people, or the brain is wired to actually look at the negatives, right? So if you focus on the negatives, you're going to suffer. But life is good today. When I started writing this album, I just started writing down all the positive little things in my life that I had control about. And out came this, awesome song. I'm very, very proud of it. It's also a tribute to Zach Brown Band and just the influence that he's got on me. But so that's kind of the root of the song and the album. But yeah, basically just, as I said, if the good and bad in every situation, and most people look at the bad things and they suffer. And there are so many beautiful little things. You just got to find the meaning for it. So my whole life is, the whole mantra is "Life is good today." Is look at the positive side, because there are so many good things to be excited about. So that's kind of where the whole thing came from.
So on to my very next question. You've also created an original song called "On Fire." What was it like creating this song, and what is the meaning behind "On Fire"?
Yeah, so this is still a work in progress here. So I obviously my roots, if anyone knows, my dad and uncles played professional rugby league for the Bulldogs, so we've got a big family sort of history and connection to rugby league. All my brothers came down to play in Sydney, and anyway, so creating "On Fire" was almost like creating, mixing my two passions in my whole life, which is rugby league and music, apart from family, obviously, but rugby league and music. And now I'm in a position where I can combine the two. So I sat down, I had this song, and I'm basically pitched it to the NRL. Having the deep root connections, and also, you look at Simply the Best. That was in 1994, 95. I mean, that's lasted 25 years. So, and there's been little bits of little goes in it here and there. But I thought, having a connection to rugby league, but also having a universal song, that talks about being a kid in your bedroom, and it's just it also, the way I wrote the song, and I got Matt Felt to produce it, is it's dynamic like a game of rugby league. So there's kind of like, it's kind of the start where you're warming up and all, and then there's the bang and the bang, which is the big hits and the impact of a game. So I kind of wrote it in mind to become the NRL song. So, with your help and with, all your listeners and everybody's help, really, my dream is to have this, to be the NRL, the face of the NRL in 2 or 3 years. So I've been working alongside the NRL as well. We played at the Blues Ball twice for Imagine the New South Wales Blues this year. And, they're letting me use the footage and that kind of thing. So, it's gaining momentum, and, as my profile kind of builds, I've got no doubt in my mind, 2 or 3 years, you'll have me back and you'll go, remember that time you said "On Fire" will be, so as I said, staying humble and just working harder. I'm just figuring out different ways, but yeah, basically it's just a way to combine my two passions, which is rugby league and music, in a song.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So what made you decide as a person, and especially as an artist, to get into the whole singing in the first place?
Look, when I was a young fella, I always played the guitar, and always I love performing. I love the energy and the charisma and just the teamwork, that a stage and a band can create. And then I moved down to Sydney. I was always playing guitar while I was playing rugby league down here as well. So I played for Manly for 4 years, and I was always playing in the background. We went on the footy show a couple of times. So it was always my passion. Then about 9 years ago, I got hit in the throat and fractured my larynx. So basically, I was like this. I had no voice for 8 days completely. Didn't even think I'd be able to talk again, honestly. And so I really thought the singing days were over. But you're faced with adversity, and that's sort of when you grow. So then I joined a band with my brother Robbie, and as I said, I was just playing guitar for him for a while. Then I wrote the album Life Is Good Today, and then at the time Robbie didn't want to do it, so I was like, okay, well, it was a real fork in the road, adversity. So I had two options basically, to give up or to learn how to sing again, learn how to talk and sing again. So, and that's I'm still doing all this. I'm still doing vocal coaching, and I practice every day. But I've literally had 3 surgeries in the last year to try fix it all up. What can be fixed, and I'm left with this husky voice, and but as I said, just to be able to jump on stage and create an energy and a vibe where people are having fun and they come to a show and they're smiling, and music's great because it brings everybody together, and I know my kind of vibe is that kind of high energy sort of just I want people to come to a James Keith show and just go, man, that was a lot of fun, So that's kind of where we feed off the crowd, and I want the crowd to as I said, walk away and go, oh, I had a really good time, and I feel good about myself, and so that's what I get out of it.
So speaking about the crowd, like, what does forming connections mean to you? Like, especially as an artist, like when you're performing in front of crowds, what does connection mean to you the most?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, connection to me is everything. One of my all-time favorite things is to go to bands. To watch people live music, and there's nothing nothing worse than seeing a band out there who just stands still and no connection. Like, as I said, music. It's a universal language. You don't even need to know the words or the lyrics or even the language. People move around, and it's just a universal thing. So having connection, with fans, and being able to play up a little bit, and just get that vibe from people, it just means everything to me, because I'm a high energy kind of bloke, and if I can give out some good vibes, and then people, I can see it in their faces and they're jumping around having a good time, that just gives me just a big surge of energy. So connection's a really important thing. And also too, I'm 40 now, right, and I feel like I'm 20 years old. I've just got so much energy. Like I couldn't. So I used to go. I still go to shows now. I look at the guitar player, and I'm like, can I have a guitar pick and all the. So I'm still that kind of fan. So I resonate with people who come to my show and who are fans, because I'm one of you. We're all together. We're all together. So it's a really I just love everything about it.
Like, what has been your most favorite cover song to perform of all time, and why?
I've got to say, Mr. Brightside is just one of my. In saying that and Little Iron Man by Mumford and Sons, I just again, it's just the energy. Obviously they're well-known songs. People love singing them. Any chance you can get to interact with the crowd and get them to sing back, or jump around or something like that, really kind of. I just feel the energy just lifts in the room. I'm actually going to do a country synth cover of Mr. Brightside on my new album coming out next year. So so just and this is what I love about country too, and this is why I love Zach Brown. Is country is just such a big genre. There's all these different little waves of country. Basically with the country roots of good storytelling and honesty and hard work and those kind of country roots. So I'm combining my passions of Coldplay energy and Zach Brown band and good Australian kind of country roots all in one. So it's just what I'm just love doing my own thing.
So if you could go anywhere on tour, as an artist, where would you want to go on tour and why?
Look, my dream is to play at a Madison Square Garden show one day. So
Okay.
that's probably the big one. I've seen some of my favourite bands there, and it's just there's just something about that Madison Square Garden, New York City. You know, so a country boy from Australia can dream big, but you know, you got to have those dreams, you got to have those visions, you got to have focus, and yeah, that's the goal. Alongside Zach Brown
Yeah.
being.
So onto my
I'll
very
happily support him.
yes. So onto my very next question for you, James. So if you could work with any top three music artists in the music industry, who would you want to work with and why?
So straight away, Zach Brown, Coldplay, and the 1975. They're my three biggest influences. Obviously, Zach Brown's that country kind of roots, but he's got a big wide genre. Obviously, Coldplay. I think Chris Martin's the most beautiful man, you know, on the planet. Just a beautiful human being. You know, he puts good energy into you know, saving the planet and all these kind of really good things, and he gives back as well. And the 1975, Matty Healy, just you know, they're like kind of a Manchester kind of rock, you know, kind of rock band, and I just love that groovy, funky vibe of you know, his music and what they sort of do. And I also love the fact that they've been together since they were 13. So you know, that's kind of good values as well. So and that's kind of where my music is really heavily influenced by those three kind of genres. So but yeah, definitely. I mean, Zach Brown's a big one.
Yes. So
Zach
onto my
Brown band.
very, yes. So onto my very next question for you, James. So if you could like give your younger self advice, like looking back over your career in the music industry, if you could give your younger self advice, what would your advice be to your younger self? And if you could go to any decade in time and space, what decade would it be and why?
Okay, good question. Look, basically, my younger self, it would just be to never stop. You know, be true to yourself and just to keep going. You know, a lot of people in this industry, they kind of, you know, they overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in a decade. And it's so true because, and I'm the same. I've been there too. You get impatient and you think, oh no, this is not working, but you just got to stick at it, man. You look at Coldplay, Taylor Swift. You know, they've been doing it for 25 years. You know, there's a reason they're the top because they just stick at it. You know, and eventually, you know, so yeah, so that's just one thing. I mean, I'm saying that to myself now. You know, like just keep going. You know, just stay in your own lane, and be happy what you're doing, and be grateful for what you're doing, and just, you know, notice everything around you. You know, just mate, I suppose like, live in the moment. You know, you just live in the moment is just a key thing. And the decade, look. Honestly, man, I've just turned 40, mate, and I just cannot wait for this next decade. I've got so many things happening. You know, like I like to look forward. I've got some, you know, really big things happening in the next couple of years, and I know this decade's gonna be you know, be huge for me. So, and for, you know, for everyone who wants to come along. So yeah, I'm looking forward, man. Let's go.
So on to my very next question. So if you could give upcoming artists advice on wanting to start out in the music industry, what advice would you give to upcoming artists?
Coming artists, look, find an influence. Find an influence, but be true to what you want. Basically, you got to find you first. There's no spot trying to be like somebody else because they're already doing it. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I suppose the two big things is, hey, Eliza, I know you're there, mate. I just read some of the comments, but yeah, look, basically, is to find you. You got to be you. You got to be yourself first. You know, you can have these other influences or whatever, but if you're trying to be somebody else, it's never going to work. You just got to be true to yourself and just, you know, stay in your own lane and be honest with yourself, and eventually it'll happen.
So on to my very next question. So what are like the positive and negative side into the music industry, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
Oh, look, I wouldn't call them I wouldn't call them negatives. I mean, obviously, I've applied for so many festivals and gigs, and even close to home, and you know, you miss out. But is it a negative? Or look, you know, you know, I look at it as a stepping stone, and you know, look, I mean, you know, as I said, it builds resilience, right? You know, you don't. I mean, Ed Sheeran says it. You learn nothing from success. You learn everything from your failure. And I've failed plenty of times. I'm still failing, but yeah, as long as you're learning from your little mistakes, and you know, you tweak things and you adapt, and you stay in your own lane. You know, I don't think there's any negatives. You know, like as long as you're, you know, honest with yourself, and you know, and you're fair about what you're doing, You know, yeah, there's going to be setbacks and there's going to be failures, but that's when you learn your most. You know, so that's probably a big kind of big motivator for me, and obviously the positives. I mean, you know, I got the girls on there commenting. You know, I got some really cool. You know, I mean, speaking to you, you know, you reached out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really excited to do this sort of stuff. You know, being able to spread, you know, good messages and you know, as I said, my whole mantra is life is good today. You know, be yourself. You know, be kind. Like, be grateful. Like, of all these good, positive things, you know, that we should be celebrating in life. You know, so that's one thing I really get a kick out of is having people follow along. And Matt's blowing me kisses. Hey, Matty. You know, but just being a positive influence in people's lives. And you know, they're obviously a positive influence in my life too. You know, it's just like I'm all about good energy, mate. I'm just all about, you know, being true and being grateful and just having fun along the way.
So on to my very last question, like, what's next for you? Like, what's next for James Keith as an artist that you would love to announce on the show?
Yeah, cool. So look, I've got my whole next round of songs that I'm going to start in February next year. So look, we're having a little bit of a break. I'm in a whole writing zone at the moment. Matt Fell, I've got about 6 songs that are ready to go from Matt, and I'm telling you, they are next level. They are going to take, you know, they're going to launch me. But you know, even if it doesn't, I just love it. So, but yeah, so looking forward. Songs will start for February. You know, I've applied for a few festivals, so hopefully get on a few of those things. I got my very first festival in next Saturday in Foster, which is great. I'm doing these country shows in and around Sydney, Manly, and Brookvale, and so yeah, I've got a big year planned next year. Just look, new music, bang, 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 bang. Album in September. Happy days.
Yes. Well, I would love for you to perform one of your originals if you have time, by the way.
Absolutely got time. Yeah, I'm going to play you
Awesome.
Life is Good Today. Man. I'm just why not? Life is good today. So.
Yes.
And you girls there, if you want to sing at home, you're welcome hard to. You're welcome to. All right, just got to find a guitar pick. Sorry, one sec. I know, see some new baby you picked up last week. I'll have a crack. Remember how it goes, don't I? When I wake up in the morning and I see you, girl, wearing my shirt while you do a little twirl, smiling back at me with those loveless eyes. Or if you're heading back home, haven't been for a while, to the first country air and it gives you a smile, a home-cooked chicken pie, a mother eggs. Whatever it is inside makes you feel the way you do. You can right out of your soul, leave your life and just be you. We've all got a way to get, I get it all from you. Shouldn't whiskey playing a country song? It could be the first kiss. We're headed to the show. Watching everybody sing along. I can hear you singing at home. So grab that feeling inside you. Don't throw it away. Just live in the moment. Life is good today. You get when she walks down the aisle, when your baby laughs and you get a little smile, knocking back a few on a Friday night. If you're heading out west cause you need a little cure, the boys on the bus for a country pub tour are listening along now. My old man, whatever it is inside makes you feel the way you do. Just don't forget you're beautiful. Just be you. We've all got a way we get it. I get it all from you. And shouldn't whiskey playing a country song? It could be your first kiss, or headed to the show, or watching everybody sing along. So grab that feeling inside you, and don't throw it away. Just live in the moment. Life is good today. Solo. Whatever it is inside that makes you feel the way you do, just live your own life. Just be you. We've all got a way we get it. I get it all from you. Like shooting whiskey and playing a country song. Let's go.
Yes, James. Oh my, wow. Oh my God, that was awesome. Oh,
I'm watching everybody sing my song. So fight home, guys. Grab
yes.
that feeling inside you. Don't throw it away. Just live in the moment. Why? Because life is good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Thank you
Thank you.
so much again, James. It was such an incredible pleasure having you a part of the show for tonight. Everyone, if you're not following James, as you saw right there, definitely get behind more inspiring artists like James Keith. Any last final words or anything that you would like to share to people on the show, by the way?
Look, no, just look, everybody. Thank you so much for all your following along and your messages, and brother, thank you too, man. I honestly really appreciate this, your time, and I can't wait to have a beer with you one day. Let's do it.
Yes, sounds good.